Hollywood box office is once again saved by the U.S. Latino audiences. But does Hollywood owe us anything? I say they don't owe you, the Latino creatives, a damn thing. One has got nothing to do with the other. And I appreciate these efforts of LA Collab and all these other people coming out here and trying to put that light that fire behind and get Hollywood going. And let me just read this really quickly. Latino audiences are the secret to Godzilla and King Kong, Bad Boys, Inside Out 2. Latinos coming in Hollywood's rescue again, dear Hollywood. You can thank us by hiring Latinos in green lighting and consumer facing decision rooms. We are ready and not hard to stop to find. So stop with the we would if we could find them. Embracing our talent is a win-win for everyone. As we know, Latinos are showing up at theaters like never before, and our disproportionality higher ticket buyers than any other demographic. New releases, etc., have been thrust into success thanks to Latino and Hispanic moviegoers. We are rebuilding the industry following the pandemic and two paralyzing labor strikes. So Hollywood, please pay us back. No, thank you. That's not how it works. Let me tell you why. Those people already hired by all those studios, Latinxers that are in those positions, or Latinos, right? I'll be nice. I'll say Latinos. They haven't greenlit a damn thing. They're already in place. It's a check mark already. Do you guys understand this? That one has got nothing to do with the other. Latino audiences love everything. Yes, they're the biggest movie going audience. We love that. They're saving cinema. I love cinema. But you can't, this is not how capitalism works, right? If you really, really want to do this, all those big organizations, Nadlib and I don't know what, then you put your money where your mouth is and you fund films, you fund TV shows. Don't give yourself each other's awards. Don't write another article. Don't do another panel because I'm sick of it. I want nothing to do with it. It is wasted energy and you're not seeing the big picture here. The big picture is that they already have been hired. They're gatekeepers and they're not getting anything done. My lovely panel, come on in. And what do you guys have to say?
As Lorena knows, I'm a big follower of Malcolm X, and Malcolm X would have predicted all of this. One of the reasons Malcolm X was against many of the forms of affirmative action that were being presented in his time were like, this is all just being used to create puppets and to create people that can be controlled by the system. Right? He wanted Black people to get away from all of this. He's like, I'm not going to play this role, of being your marionette, right? And serve as a gatekeeper to control the narrative. So that's what's been done with minorities. It's been done with the Latino community in particular because they fear the Latino community. You and I talked about this over lunch. They fear the Latino community because it is such economically successful and becoming such an important part of the audience base, but they can't control it. They don't understand it. It has political ideas on the Middle East and other things, as Melissa Barrera showed, that do not align with Hollywood and they won't align. Their cultural values, like Latinx, didn't work. Right, a lot of the extreme rainbow narrative, Latinos aren't interested in it. Right, doesn't mean they're oppressing their gay cousin. It just means they're not interested in this way this narrative is going in Hollywood. Right, and so they have put in their Latinx seat holders to control that, and those people ain't gonna let others in, as Malcolm X predicted.
Kamran, you are 100% right. Back in the day when Hollywood did not want to invest in Black movies, or like, oh no, it's not going to make any money, you had people like Robert Townsend, like the Hudlin brothers, even like Ice Cube. Guess what? They said, you know what? We're going to take our money. We're going to make our own films. And they started to make money. Hollywood's like, oh, okay, well, they're going to make money. So let's get our people in there, the people that we want, the people who are going to spread the messages that we want, to greenlight the films that we want, which is why you're not getting Hollywood films showing Black men as strong father figures for the most part, nuclear families. They're like, no, we're not about that. The same thing that's happening when they're coming after the Latino community, especially with this whole Latinx thing, which is complete and total BS, but they think it's great. So that's what they want to do. And you're absolutely right. They will, and I call this,
Mhm.
one of my favorite black conservative commentators says that they have their black faces
Mhm.
to puppet what these people want. You
Yeah.
see them when they come out. You see them when they're yelling and screaming. Like I forget what's her name, who was on the BET Awards or something like that. No, Taraji P. Henderson lost her crap telling people they need to, vote for Biden. They're just like, what the heck is this lady talking about?
Yeah.
A lot of them
It's the
are.
same thing.
Because her audience
People,
wasn't the black community. Her audience was Hollywood.
yeah, yeah,
Her
they
audience
they want the
is like
people to control
is
you.
who can hire for her next job.
Exactly. They're always auditioning for that next job. But yeah, these are the people that they want, the people that they can control. They don't want diversity. They want the diversity that they can control, which is
Correct.
a different thing.
I mean, I just experienced this. I just experienced this in the past 2 weeks. I walked away from a major project I was developing that was brought to me by very significant producers that my agents were really excited about. I put a lot of effort into it. It's based on a series of novels that had been written by a Pakistani woman about a Pakistani cop in like in like the Midwest. And so the Pakistani woman was a cop. So that's an interesting thing, like how to be a religious Pakistani Muslim woman as a police officer in the Midwest, right? And so I thought the novels were interesting. I came up with a very adaptable take and how to make them work. I was pretty passionate about it. And then they brought on people who, a director and others who called me and they're like, look, you know what? Great take you've got here, but let's just take the religion out. And these are Muslim people of Muslim origin who are being brought in to bring them. I'm like, am I not Islamic enough face for this? They're like, but they brought in others, right? Because obviously they could kind of sense that I wouldn't necessarily go along with the narratives. So they brought in others, right? And then I'm getting this hour-long call from a fellow Muslim who's been brought in to oversee me and say, yeah, I think we need to get religion out of this. I think it's too earnest. And I was like, so that's not, these are popular books. And the character's whole thing is that she's a conservative religious Muslim woman in a Midwestern police thing. And the conflicts are going, she's falling in love with the guy, but can she be with the guy? These are the conflicts that come with being that character. You want to take that out? Then there's nothing there. It's just a white woman that says she's Pakistani, right? It doesn't mean anything. She's out having sex and drinking, whatever. You got lots of characters doing that. What about a woman that wants to do those things and says, no, my religion doesn't let me do it. But I kind of am drawn to this sexy guy at the office, but I don't want to. That's an interesting character in 2024 as a police officer, right? And I was like, no. And I walked, and when I was like, you guys going down this direction? No, I'm out. I mean, this was a major project that could have potentially sold to TV series, and they were shocked that I walked away. I said, you're not going to corrupt my culture. I'm not going to do it. And I had to say that to fellow Muslims who were like, I don't want to associate with Islam anymore. I was like, I do. We have a problem. And I'm sure the author, if the author ever finds out what happened, she'll blow her lid. She'll blow her lid because I was trying to protect her vision. But I just experienced it. The gatekeepers put on there telling me to back off from my authenticity.
And here's the thing. They're trying to keep their jobs. They're trying to keep their influence. They're trying to keep their connections. Every Latinx, whatever you want to call it, Mamadas show that has been greenlit, that has had a season or two the last 5 years, they're all gone because they're terrible. No one watches them. They're canceled, right? They can then the bad part is that the ones of merit get the same acts too, because we did the check mark. Doesn't really follow our politics, but we can say we did the check mark, and we won't market it. You won't know about the show. It will be buried. Also, too, the Georgia Lopez versus Lopez is the worst rated show comedy on NBC, and it's staying on air solely because of George Lopez. Solely because, and they got a third season, a green light. Absolutely. Just that is and those guys have been they've been licking the boots of every wokoso in Hollywood, as you can imagine.
Oh, they're famous for that. I mean, let's just
get that. They got their third season. I mean, at what price, Latino? At what price do we do? You know, it's the price of our souls, of our identity, of our culture.
The price is they're on TV and you're not. That's the price, right? I mean, they think they won.
What price do they sell themselves out, bro? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you.
Some of them just do it. It's sad. Some of them just do not care. It's like it's so I want to get mine.
What is that?
As long as I got mine, I don't care what people do. I don't care how they see me. I don't care what kind of damage or stereotypes I reinforce about my culture. I got my money and I'm living large.
My mother show.
Well, we go back to my friend Sharmino Bechunoy. She has 2 Oscars for doing that.